For Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. Russia-backed officials say an explosion damaged a bridge that's one of the few links between Crimea and Ukraine's mainland, this one reaching the Kherson province. Russia and Ukraine control different sides of Kherson, which is a focus of fighting and attacks as Ukrainian troops try to reclaim territory Russia occupied since it's waged the war in Ukraine. Russia annexed Crimea from Ukraine in 2014. The Russian-installed head of Kherson alleged a type of missile that the UK and France supplied to Ukraine caused the explosion. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi marks day 2 in the U.S. today. He'll address Congress and meet President Joe Biden. Some progressive Democrats will boycott his speech, citing human rights violations in India, including torture, killings of Muslims, and arrests of journalists. Modi was met with protests yesterday at the United Nations. India is seen as a major buyer of U.S. arms and a key ally. Neha Punya reports on the weapons deal Modi's expected to strike with the U.S. as part of his visit.
For the U.S., this visit is crucial from 2 points of view: weaning New Delhi away from its traditional defense partner Russia, and also equipping India to militarily counter China in the Indo-Pacific, which is why as many as 5 defense deals are likely to be announced. This includes India buying MQ-9B Sea Guardian drones from the US and a technology transfer that could allow India to manufacture GE's F414 jet engines locally. There's also talk of the countries jointly manufacturing armored vehicles and ammunition. Neha Punya, New Delhi.
Congressional Democrats announced new attempts to codify abortion rights. Those efforts come as the country approaches a 1-year anniversary of the U.S. Supreme Court Dobbs decision that struck down the constitutional right to an abortion. Eileen Alfandary reports.
Washington Senator Patty Murray spelled out the consequences of what she called the cataclysmic U.S. Supreme Court Dobbs decision.
Since that Dobbs decision, 14 states have passed total bans on abortions. Another 6 states have severely limited abortion services, and 9 other states have had their abortion bans blocked in court. Every day, women across our country are confronting a dystopian reality, one where Republican politicians have the final say in their health care decisions. Women are forced to stay pregnant against their will, even when their health and lives are at risk.
Murray outlined 4 bills that the Democratic leadership in the Senate wants to bring to the floor. They would enshrine the right to contraception, the freedom to travel to obtain an abortion, ensure that doctors can safely provide abortion care to patients from other states, and protect people's online health and location data. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer planned to bring the bills up under so-called unanimous consent rules, which allow the objection of a single Republican to torpedo the effort. I'm Eileen Alfandary.
Some Democratic lawmakers are marking Pride Month with a bill called the Equality Act. The reintroduction of the measure in both chambers would expand the 1964 Civil Rights Act to include LGBTQ+ people in its protections against discrimination in areas like employment and public accommodations. Christopher Martinez reports.
Democratic Senator Jeff Merkley of Oregon is the bill's Senate author.
Anti-LGBTQ+ bills aren't just words on paper. They deny life-saving medical care. They deny inclusive education. They deny access to spaces and facilities.
The Equality Act would amend the 1964 Civil Rights Act to include sexual orientation and gender identity, expanding protections against discrimination in areas like employment, housing, public accommodations, and education. The act has support from the entire House Democratic caucus. Earlier this month, the group Human Rights Campaign declared its first ever state of emergency for LGBTQ+ people in the United States, citing the wave of state bills targeting the LGBTQ+ community, about 500 this year alone. Reporting for Pacifica Radio News KPFA, I'm Christopher Martinez.
House will be in order.
In a rowdy scene, the Republican-controlled House voted to censure Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff over his comments several years ago during investigations into then-President Donald Trump's ties to Russia. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene was one of the Republicans urging a censure vote.
Adam Schiff lied to the American people by leading the fake Russian witch hunt against President Trump.
Schiff was defiant and charged his GOP colleagues of doing Trump's bidding.
You honor me with your enmity. You flatter me with this falsehood. You, who are the authors of a big lie about the last election, must condemn the truth tellers, and I stand proudly before you.
Last week, more than 20 Republicans voted with Democrats to block the censure resolution, but many changed their votes after the sponsor, Anna Paulina Luna of Florida, removed a provision that could have fined Schiff $16 million if the House Ethics Committee determined he lied. I'm Christina Onnested, reporting for Pacifica Radio.